All right, guys. I'm doing a trunk replacement on a 2017 F-Type convertible. So I know there's the big boot, the big trunk, coupe one, but I have the convertible, and it's got a couple scuffs on the top side. I'll put some pictures in, or show you them where the scuffs are on the old one. But anyways, I took the felt piece that goes on top. So right now you're looking at the trunk. It's completely upside down. There are the cords, the wires that come. Let me move this real quick. Sorry, this is one of my utility offices, closets. So there. Ouchie! I'm not using that one though. My spoiler's good on mine. Still didn't sound well, but anyways. Let's see if I can get this to prop up better. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get a paint job. But anyways, so again, this is the replacement one. So on my old one, this part, which is pretty common, it's upside down, I know it, but right under where the brake lights are at, usually gets hit, and mine unfortunately got backed into, and I just need a replacement for the trunk. But yes, so there's these cords that are covered with, you know, the rain stuff to keep the water out and such. And these probably go into the car, obviously. They probably go where all the brains are at, inside, behind the seats. Now, I'm going to try and get this done without having to get to these. So, I'm going to leave my stock ones in, my current ones in, and I'm going to try and reverse this all the way out and take it out from the lid itself, from the boot, from the trunk top. I think that's going to be easier. I don't even want to venture into behind the seats and all those brains in there, because if you looked anything up for Jaguar, you're going to see that it's a mess getting into the back seats. Behind the seats. So I'm not going to try and do that. I'm going to try and come the other direction. I'm going to try and go basically from the brains of the car to the trunk. So I'm going to leave all these cords that go into the car, all those grounds. I'm going to leave all those in my car, and I'm going to come back out this way. So essentially leaving the cords connected to the car, and then hollow this trunk out and then feed the cords into this trunk. But I do kind of want to just say, because I know there's no videos of this, so I'm following these ones, and there's about 5 different cords on this side. I know I'm jumping around, sorry. I got work in like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. So there's about 5 different cords here. And they're just all strung together, and again, these go into the car somewhere, and I'm not going to try and find that needle in a haystack. So I'm going to leave those connected to my car. This portion on my car is going to stay connected, but there's about 5 of these, 5 different cords in here, and they look like ground wires, but these all come out right here, and this is going to be under that felt cover that you'll see. Those are easy push pins that you just pop out, but still try to be generous with those. Don't just yank those out. But all these cords, about 5 of them, they all connect relatively easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grounds right there. And then these bad boys right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Still going. And again with the grounds, these are all ground wires. And then let's see what we're looking at. Still the same 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So still 5 connectors. All I did was follow those all the way out. So these are all touchable on the trunk itself, on the lid. So again, I'm going to disconnect all these from my original, and then connect them all to this top, this trunk lid. But again, I'm trying to just kind of help everybody out, because I don't see any videos of this. On the other side, you got, let's see how many we got over here. So we got, I'm gonna look at this end. 1, 2, it looks like about 8, because there's a little bit more of a connector on this one. But they all come out right here. And again, I just follow this, make sure it's right there connecting. So I just follow this all the way through, and we get to this green one. That's relatively easy to access. So that just kind of unclips. I unclip it from there, and then unclip it together. If I look underneath, this one's kind of a problem. This where is it at? This cord right here. It's not necessarily wanting to come out real simple. I'll come back to that. I don't want to have to cut that and then resolder it together or anything. But I'm going to try and get... So I still got to follow... Sorry about movement. Try to move slow. So there's a cord right here. Let's see if you can see it. This one... This cord right here. This is a pretty big bulk of a cord. Right? Let's see if I can pull this out. It's right there. But that seems to go to like the brake lights and all of this. Now I'm going to try and to undo this. Now these little squares, these just pop off. Right? And you kind of want to be generous. And I never like popping these things off. But I got a small little flathead. A little flathead screwdriver, a tiny one. So we can bring that in the screen. And just pop those out. Try to be generous. I know, it's, you know, it's up to you. It's your car. So those come out relatively easy. They're just little pop-in squares that cover the screw holes. Nothing big. And this came from a salvage vehicle, I'm sure, because they just sold it separately. But then you got these screws. There's screws, 4 screws all the way down. Those unscrew. Those aren't hard to break open. Those are easy. You can probably do it by hand if you get the right hand tool. And then we get to here. Let's do this. I don't want to flip this over. Let's see if I get to it. Okay, so then we get to underneath. So there's that cord. And I'm going to figure out how to unplug that. I'm pretty sure I could just do it right there. Maybe. Somewhere. It's 2 separate ones. So it goes to that light and that light right there. So it's 2. So those have to get separated. And then... you know what? I'm going to do that, and then I'll kick back on for you guys. All right. All right. Well, I'm back, and I kind of just unclipped, and I want to record everything as much as I can, because, again, there's none of this out there. So this is your, you know, the trunk lid lights that go underneath. And then that wire that's on the inside, it's about right here, this wire. And, again, it's traveling all the way again, right? It goes underneath. Can't get to it from here, so I'm going to try my best to see where it goes, and here it is. These just pull out. Pretty simple. I'll show you on this one. This pushes in. Let's see where we're at. There we go. Okay, so this connector, it just pushes in there, right? And it'll clip into place if I do it. But you'll just, again, get a small flathead. I got a small one. And I just come up underneath it, pry it up a little bit, and then pull it out. Kind of finagle it. But once that comes out, gentle, relatively, bang. That should be it. I'm gonna just go ahead and try and continue to do this while I have you guys up. So I'm just gonna do this with my left hand. Unfeed this. Try not to tear anything or rip anything. Because again, I need. Oh look, I didn't even see that bad boy. What am I doing? Blind. Let's do this. This is simple. Looks relatively simple. We're looking at it. There it goes. Okay, easy. I just squeeze down on that lid right there. Bam. Oh, that's the button itself. Okay, definitely need that one. We're just continuing to kind of work it out, work it out. This looks a little bit weird. We're gonna just pushing that little tab over. And I know this is dirty. It's just like I said, I just got this in and I'm slowly chipping away at it. I'm really busy, but it seems like I can get it all done. Let's see what else is in there. It just looks like there's some glue or something. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just foam in there. There it is. Okay, that looked like it was just dirt and glue. So we got that out, and that's a good part. That's a good piece. So, and I need to keep this one because on mine, underneath it, it's actually damaged. So I need to keep this. So this will just come right over here under my storage stuff. Bam. So let's see what we're looking at now. Trying to see where my tension continues. So there's that. Let me continue venturing. I can't do it with just holding up one hand and working with one hand, but I'll be back. Alright, I'm back again real fast for a quick just update. Remember that black lead that I couldn't get to? This one that was pretty stiff. Let's see if it'll focus. This one right here. It was pretty stiff. I was, just looking at it a little bit more, and it looked like it was just a ground wire. So indeed, I just kind of tugged on a little bit more, and it kind of, there it goes. So that's the tab under there, and that just looks like a ground. Nothing, it's not connected to anything. There's nothing else connected to it. I'm pretty sure it's just a ground wire. Just a little bit of an update on that, another venturing into this. Alright, back to this. Sorry, I had to pick up a FedEx. Or sign off one. So here I am again. So I was tricky about, got this ground wire unhooked. At the very beginning it was kind of frustrating. It was a little bit harder to tug. Unclip this one. This actually just feeds right to here. So I was stressing about trying to get this whole thing through. I don't need to. Okay, so that's, I'm fine with that. I'll probably leave that because my connectors, again, these are going to be left on my car. So this whole cord is going to be left on my car. I don't need to unclip all this. So this, you know, hey, lesson learned. You know, the more you know. So I don't have to undo that on my car. I almost want to just put it back together. But anyways, we'll continue on. Again, just figuring things out on this. Again, I'm doing this just because I don't see any video footage of anything like this. Okay, so you know, hopefully this helps somebody. If it doesn't, hey, don't worry about it. You know, if it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. But if it does, hey, hopefully it's you know, kind of sheds some light on these cars, because I don't see anything. A lot of people not working on different as far as something like this. But again, like I said, I'm replacing my trunk with this trunk. This was from probably a salvage car, but it's a lot better condition than mine. It just needs a paint job. But I'm taking the wire harness off of this one so I don't have to unplug from the actual car itself, because I don't want to have to venture into the car. I just want to undo it from here and reverse it all the way out. But just another update. I'll come back and see what alright, so another update. Couldn't really figure out how to get those other cords that were deep in there. So I flipped the whole thing over. So I took the wing off, giving it a little bit more access. That was relatively easy. It's just it's 4 bolts up underneath it. So it's not that hard to get to. And I had the right fitting for it. So that's really easy to pop off. Let's see if I show you real quick. I have them. There's 4 of these. It's these 4. So those aren't that hard. You got to get under the wing, and then they unscrew from there for the most part. There's 4 of those. All right. But again, I flipped it over, just trying to troubleshoot, and I'm going as slow as possible. I know sometimes we tend to see, you can definitely tell this thing needs a paint job. But again, I bought it because I needed this to be straight all the way across. Mine was backed into. But again, I'm trying to figure out how to get to the cords that are on the inside. This part right here, which is where the brake light's at. Brake light, right? And I'm assuming these are sensors, maybe? I'm not too sure. It's a plastic trim, and that literally kind of just popped off. And again, just be gentle with it, because I know there's clips on the inside. I haven't even flipped it over. I literally just popped it off and laid it right back down so I could video it for you guys. But I just slowly popped this off, and that's underneath. So those pop in there for the most part. Pretty simple. So I'm hoping if I unscrew these, I can get closer to the cords that I need to get to. So I will pause and I will get to those. Alright, so I'm back. And again, I apologize for the stopping and going. So, right, this piece is on. It's kind of just popped off. It had little little plastic clips in there, and it's dirty. I just wiped this down for a little bit, just to kind of get a little bit more easier view of it. There's still some dirt, man. You can tell it's completely used. But, you know, just working the piece off after I took all those 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was just kind of working, and I could hear it releasing. And again, it's dirty. But this is instantly when I undid it. Looks like it was just kind of, what is that, glued in? Looks like it's got a styrofoam padding. Probably just glued in place right here. This looks like it was glued in, maybe double adhesive, but there's another piece to the puzzle. So I'm gonna unclip that. See what that looks like. So we're done. Looks like I just pull this piece out. Let's see. Press down. See if I can do this one there. Let's see what I can do. Hopefully you can still see it. Well, So that was just clipped in there on top, just like that, and just pulled that out. All right, let me continue on. All right, so back after a work day, and just again, like I said, I just want to just kind of tinker away at this each, little bit by little. Take my time, be patient. I did see some other videos about replacing the spoiler itself, which kind of gave me a little bit more detail as far as this portion of the whole trunk. Turns out these do come out, so I just took like a little paper clip kind of thing, nothing crazy, and that takes a little. You want to pull, pick the sides, don't just pull from or yank or anything like that, but kind of work it, and it just popped out. So that just kind of came out. Pretty sure I just got to pop this down in the middle somewhere. Looks like it goes out. Let's see what we're looking at, unless it comes up. It comes up. Let's see, I'll put this away. And again, I am gonna have this whole thing repainted. It's pretty, looks like it was from a car wreck, previous car wreck. So let's see what we're looking at. Those move. Does it come up? Looks like it would come up. I can't get my hand. Okay, there we go. All right, let me figure that out, and then I'll get right back to you guys. All right, so I'm back. I do want to say that there is a grommet. Looks like it's a water sealer, and that's from underneath. Let's see if I can. Again, I'm in my storage closet, so don't judge the location, but I'm just trying to get things done. See if you guys can see from here. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up, and it is this right here. I don't know if you can see that. This out of the way. But it is one of the. This is too heavy, but I don't want to just keep doing it. So it's this right here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try it from this angle. Sorry again about moving around. Okay, it's that one right here. So this is on the other side. So let's see what that looks like if I just take it off. Bam. I get all kinds of dirt. So there's that. And I'm going to continue to try to figure out how to take that out. I'll be back. Alright, so back. I was able to, finagle this clip that was here around this. You can kind of see the impression of where it was at. That was a kind of pain in the butt to do it. It has clips on both sides, one side here, one side here. You got to kind of pry it in and then out. But I kind of want to believe that that's kind of useless, because all that does is allow the inside, water grommet to kind of move around. So, and that's in the trunk. So, I mean, I don't even know if I can't even get to it anyways from the outside of it. So, I don't think that's necessary. Maybe it might give you some better leverage. I don't know. But like I said, we're going one bit at a time. So I'll come back to you guys. All right, so we're going to shift gears real quick and take a break on that motor part. Plus, I think I could probably get just, sometimes it's best to step back from something and you end up getting tunnel vision. So like I said at the very beginning, I'm trying to leave this portion attached to the car. I don't want to take this out. This looks like a mess that I'd have to get inside the vehicle with. I don't want to deal with the brains of the car. So I'm leaving all this connected to the car, and I'm going to try and undisconnect it all from the trunk itself. So we're just going to get started with a couple of these right here. And I'm going to use a 5/16 on there. Let's see if that should work nicely. Boom, boom. There you go. So simple. I'm going to just try to disconnect a couple of those wires. I don't even need to do that screw. But, like there's a ground right there I got to undo. But I'm going to go through and disconnect that. And then, I'll come back and show you what it looks like without it. All right. So we're back, and again, I apologize for all the stopping and going, but I don't want to waste the time on video just to figure out how to undo it. So these were simple push clips in and out, real easy to take off. Then you have your antenna, your two antennas. This is the ground. That's the antenna right there. The antenna one kind of just, I would probably keep a little bit more attention to it, just because this clip has to go all the way to let this little tab come out, and then this was the ground. That's easy to do, or the antenna, however you want to look at it. But that's all done, right? That's what it looks like all together. So I'm gonna undo. I undid this, the rubber grommet here, and I think I should be able to just feed that out. Let's see what we're looking at. Again, I'm trying to do this while holding the phone. Let's see what we're looking at. Some of these. Trying not to get snagged. Again, just working it, trying not to get snagged. Boom, done. So that is the whole piece. And again, I want this to stay attached to the car. So undoing that's on one side. That was easy. I'm very thankful that was relatively easy. I'm just gonna put that right there. This is the one to the motor. Now, after taking a break on it, right, so the trunk's upside down, so this goes to the motor. The motor for the fin is here. I was stupid. Didn't even realize that there was extra bolts here, and I'm sure that's going to help release the piece that I've been kind of working on the top side. So I'm going to undo that. There's another one right here. I'm going to undo those all the way around. All the way around. I'm going to undo these. And we'll cross our fingers. Alright, I will be back. Alright, back again. Okay, so I undid all those screws. So there was one here. There was one here against the side of it. One here. And those were relatively easy to break too. Those weren't even that hard. Here and here. And I'm going to flip this over. Let's see if I can. I'm going to put you guys down real brief. So, and then I'll come back to flip it over. I haven't even got it on the other side. Alright, so back at it again. After taking those bolts off, I flipped it over. It was a little bit more loose, but I was still thinking, okay, this is just, I could hear that there was a weather stripping that was installed that had adhesive glue. So I was able to hear that, but it still wasn't happening. I'm not going to continue to force it or anything like that. I'm first time treading on all this. Turns out, here I am again. This little bad boy is the bushing, right? It's a spring. It's a bushing on there to stop it from slamming all the way down. Well, this pulls off. Then you have the actual spring. Then you got 3 tabs. Now those tabs are relatively easy to get out. I don't know if I put them back in there for you guys. But you know, we just get in there. That's 1. Sorry about that. It's focusing on it. That's 2. Those 3 will come out. Yeah, I can't. Let's see. So those will come out. Now there is a screw in there too as well. Let's see if I can get close enough to be able to do this. Use my pinky finger. So let's get one. And it's not that hard. I'm just trying to do this with 2. Let's try it. I guess this is where a GoPro would be nice to have, right? These clips are super easy as far as like tension on them. It doesn't take, there it goes. Okay, so I already got 2 of those, so this should just be able to fall right out. Boom. Okay, so there you go. So that goes to the side, and there is the last of the Mohicans. That one there, and there's one over there, I assume. So I'm gonna try and get those 2 out, and we'll come back. Alright, so got those screws out. Now I will say one was easy. The other one was kind of, you know, like a breaker screw or something. That one took a little bit more muscle behind it. But it turns on this side, I flipped the whole hood over, by the way, if you can't tell right now. So it looked like, let's see, I was on this side, so the screw probably would have been right here on this side, which is maybe what this little tab is, maybe reinforcement. But so here we go. This is the chance that we've been waiting on. Bam! The whole thing comes up. That's exactly what I've been working the whole day to figure out. So now I'm just gonna go through, take the cords off that, and see what we're looking at from there. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll flip it over. Let's see real fast. Let's see. Was there any? It looks like there's just dirt. Maybe. No real. No, there was a sealer there. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little foam, like around the edge. I don't know if you can see it, but right there on the rim, there's a little weather stripping, double-sided tape, whatever you call that. That's what also kept it sticky down. But I don't think that was. I think it had. I had just hit the screws on the backside to begin with. It would have just came off easier. So you know, yeah, that's why we go slow. We venture in. We one step at a time. Take our time through it. All right, I'm gonna unclip, and then I'm gonna undo those wires, and then we'll go from there. And I'll kind of give you guys another recap on what's going on there. Okay, just back real brief. It takes two hands to move this. I don't want to like indefinitely break something by accident. So I just flipped everything over. That's all I really did. So this is what underneath that looks like. So this is, I'm gonna unplug this one right here. See how you do this one in. There goes that one. Let's see, which one was this one? And again, I am getting a whole paint job on this one, so I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I don't want to. This is a double-sided one, so I have to pinch in. Feels like it. Oh, maybe not. No? Yeah, okay, never mind. It's pinch right here. Pinch there and pinch on the other side. Let me get one in first. There it goes. And that's all I did, pinch. Okay, so that looks like all the cords are free. That looks like part of the ground right there. Now this whole piece should just come right up. Bam. And magic. So there is the process behind that. That really is a big relief. Big time. So, and I'll probably use mine. Mine's fine. I mean, it's always a good backup. Maybe I'll sell it back on. Maybe I'll put it up on the market or something. But that's what that is. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this whole hood over and see if I can fish those wires back out. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so all I did was flip the hood back over. And when I'm flipping the hood over, guys, I'm just flipping it like this, by the way. I don't know if that really matters. Some of you guys are probably like, you know, is he rotating it long ways? Or I'm literally just flopping it over back and forth. All right, so this is the pain in the ass one that we've been working with. I'm gonna show you up underneath it. This is, I undid all the connectors from the engine, as you saw in the little motor. So it looks like it just feeds right there. Let's see how easy that one is. And I didn't even need to take this one off, by the way. This is kind of just chilling, but you know, hey, we're all learning. So here I am. Just gonna pull this through. It's real simple. I'm doing it with one hand. Bam. That is the ass wipe of a cord. These are little plastic. These are just electrical taped in there, by the way. Nothing crazy. So I'm just gonna pull those out again. You know, those are just electrical taped in there. Nothing crazy. Slip that. I guess if I want, yeah. See, I could literally just pull that tape off. Push that one out. I'm gonna feel in there just to make sure there's no other clip, but it doesn't seem like it. Pop this plastic rubber off, and again, this end is going to stay in the car. I do not even want to play around with trying to go into the car. This is the whole purpose of this. How easy can I make this? So then I just feed this whole cord through. Let's do this with my right hand. Bam, bam. Again, when you get down to the closer ends, try not to get snagged. You know, I don't want to get in too much of a rush. Just double checking. See, like I got snagged right there. Double checking. Down right there. Bam. And we're here. That's it. This, I almost want to just try to put that one back in. I didn't even need to take that off, actually. This piece, I'm talking about this. So I might just put that back on, but I might just use mine. I don't know. Actually, I have to use the one that came with it because mine's actually kind of broke. on this end over here to where it got hit. So I had big success, big progress today. I think I might do that right now, actually. Let's see if I can do that right. Should I do that right now? I got all the screws right there. No. I'll probably put that back in, and then, you know, we'll go forward from there. We'll see how everything else comes together. But it's done. This is really, this is it. This is the trunk. So everything is unclipped. I'm really happy that I know how to do it from taking the cords off the trunk without having to go into the car itself. So that's a big, I didn't even realize I was zoomed in, sorry about that. That's a big deal for me. I'm really excited that I was able to do that because, like I said, Jaguar is immensely technical. It's ridiculous on the inside. I don't even want to get to the inside of that. But one side of the trunk was easy to do. Yeah, I did that in like almost 2 stops and goes, maybe 5 minutes. The other side was the pain in the butt on figuring out the motor and everything. And again, I'm taking my time because, you know, I don't want to break anything going too fast. I don't want to assume something because, again, it is a foreign car. So I just try to take my time. Plus, you know, videoing it helps me at least get through and installing the other one on there. So then from there. But, you know, next step is doing the same thing to the one that's on the car. I'm going to try not to take the one off the car. Actually, I lie. I got to take it off. I got to, you know, dismount that. But I'm going to try and keep it mounted and then take all the wires out and then take the whole trunk off and then reverse it back in. But once I get to that point, I'll get back on video with you guys. Bye. Alright, so here I am in the video, a little bit more of this. Taking off the trunk. And this trunk was, I'll have pictures on it, but let's not talk about that. But the felt cover on here, right, and those are just little push pins to pop out. I'd get a tool to use that, but finesse those out. You don't want to break these, right? Nobody wants to break pins. So they're all the way across around it. If you're looking for a kind of part number or something, that's where there's that. Not that that matters, but that's that for you guys. I'm going to try my best to just video as I go. This is what it looks like underneath. I don't know why my thing zooms in. So this is what it looks like. This is all my stuff in the trunk. And like I did on that previous video, these things come out. They should be coming out this cord right here. These all should be able to unclip real simple. It looks a little different to me. Makes me nervous a little bit. I don't know what that is. What is that? I'm gonna have to look at that one. Maybe you already unclipped it before. Well, we'll see. We're gonna try and get this done. See what happens. If I have to change this out, that would be kind of a bust. But we'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. All right. I'm gonna try and video as much as I can from step to step. I am gonna try and get this off. Looks like I need to just do this, but mine needs to be straightened out. I gotta straighten this off a little bit. So we'll do that later. When it got hit from this direction. Boom. It got hit here. So it kind of made this bow just a little bit. You can kind of see how that bows on that. This one right here. I'm gonna try and put it. So this bracket right here, that one, it bows in this way. So it sets it off just a little bit. Nothing big noticeable. This one, straight. You can tell the difference, right? This one's bowed out just a little bit. It's bowed in. It's bowing this way. This one, straight, completely straight. So I'm gonna try. And it doesn't seem like that's gonna be too hard, but I'll try to fix that at the same time. And then we'll move forward from there. All right, just an update. The wire harness on this side was easy. Simple, right? Much like my previous video taking out the other trunk that I'm going to use, the top that I'm going to use. That was simple. Now I did notice, I think I said in the other video, that there was this extra, I don't know what this is. Another module? I'm not too sure. But this is not on my trunk. So I'm not too sure of what that is. Not too sure what that is. I might have to... I might have to take this off. Now that I'm debating about it. This piece. Because this bracket, and maybe just unplug this. All this is different. It's not super different, but you can see that. And this looks pretty basic, you know, relatively basic. This one looks like it's got this extra hole and this extra bracket. I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna have to pull that off and attach it. I don't even know if I have a hole there. No, I don't have a hole there. So this whole lid is different right here. This piece right here, so this is different. So this has this mounting right here. Would it be that hole? This is that hole. It's not different, it just looks different. So boom, so there's that one. Corresponds with this one and this one. Okay, so it's not that different. It's not different. Okay, so there's that. That's what that's made for. I guess it's just a different model. But I'm gonna put that on there. I'm not gonna not have it on there. It doesn't look like it's connecting to anything else. But I am gonna put that on there, and then just drill into that bracket. Just barely get in there. Hopefully, maybe I could just use one hole. Or I'll just use the whole bracket. I'll probably end up just taking the whole bracket off just to be safe. So, and then we'll just move that way. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm feeling more comfortable. I'm going to take this all. I'm going to take this whole thing off. So this. These come out. This comes out. This antenna stays. I'm going to keep that together. That'll stay on this trunk. And then I'll just unplug this right here. See how this works. Looks like a little push tab. Just gotta figure. I'll figure that out, and then we'll move forward. Just logging how much I do. I'm moving on this. All right, so I'm back now. I got the new one on. And you know, was relatively easy. Like I said, once I just basically just do everything that I did earlier in the video to the stock one. And then the mounting is easy. It's literally these two screws, which they come with these covers, by the way, just to keep it nice. Let's pop that back in there. There's that one. And there's that one. We're back to new. Okay, so that looks like that. I come over here to the other side. Pop that one in there. And again, this is just trim work. Keep it looking nice. And that's it. So I'm going to replace that mount with this mount, and everything just should plug up and we should be ready to go. Kind of like a plug and play now. The motor part, that was a lot easier taking off once you do it the correct way. So if you're trying to figure out how to take that one off, I'm actually going to use that one on this one because my motor was nice. The other one, I think it was from an older model of a vehicle, but mine was perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and just bolt that one back in. I got to use the locking mechanism that I pulled on the old one. The other one didn't want to come off. So I was trying to use it and it didn't work. But we're going to go ahead and replace that. I'm going to button this up a little bit and then I'll take another video of what it looks like. These are still hanging out. I'm just going to feed these back through. Super easy all the way through where it needs to go. And we'll be back.